Morning, everybody. Talk here. Okay, so I woke up today. I've been awake for about, I don't know, half an hour. So if I look somewhat disheveled, that's what's going on. And an Mkohl video crossed my feed, specifically my Discord feed. And I went and watched it. 3 minutes. Okay. Firstly, thank you for getting that email. It's nice to actually have like a clear statement from Konami instead of a bunch of other weird crap. But, alright, that seems relatively clear. Now, several things I'd like to correct you on, Mkohl, is one, Speed Duel was never announced in the EU, so it can't have been pulled. It was never announced in the first place, as an FYI. And two, Speed Duel is not an NA-only release. There is, in fact, a Portuguese version, and one of my commenters in my last video from Brazil said they're getting it. Now, I wouldn't believe just the commenter, but there's also a Portuguese version of the game, and there is no NA country that speaks Portuguese. So, clearly it has to be going to Latin America. I haven't heard anything about a Spanish version, but I don't know if Speed... I will just be honest, I don't know if Speed ever got a Spanish version. I would assume, considering Central America plays the shit out of this. I mean, I keep seeing them have all these crazy tournaments and stuff, and people keep throwing top lists and whatnot around. Not gonna lie, Central America, you guys are wild. I don't know what the heck lists you guys are playing, but Jesus, those are weird. Keep it up, though. It's fun. Anyway, so it's not just an NA thing. It is also a Latin America thing. So Speed is alive and fine in both of those areas. I don't know what's going on with the EU. And I don't know why everyone keeps conflating Speed and Rush. Outside of the fact that they are both alternate formats, the two don't really have anything in common other than superficially they both have 3 zones. Because Rush Duels doesn't have chain links, guys, and there's no limit on summoning, and all this other shit. You draw to 5. Like, it is not the same game as Speed. It is less similar than Speed is to Advanced, for God's sake. So I don't know why everyone keeps conflating that these are somehow connected with one another in any capacity. I already went on a rant on it in the last video. I'm not going to do it again. My point is, Speed is not stopping Rush from getting here. It's just not, okay? Everyone's got the two conflated. Now, I don't know, Mkohl, if you know this, but there's only been one YCS scheduled in the EU, and it's in Australia, so it's not even in the EU proper. My point is, it is ridiculous to go, wow, Midterm Paradox is not going to be released in the EU, clearly Speed Duels is on the way out, and then not follow that same logic with YCSs. Because the exact same thing is occurring with a YCS. See, no one thinks that, because it's ridiculous. And I'm not saying you're being ridiculous for thinking that. Half your comments keeps throwing it back at you, so of course this is going to be the conclusion you come to, because they're all saying the same thing, so all you're hearing is this echoed back in your face, like, oh yeah, that kind of makes sense. I don't know if you know about the YCS thing. If you do not, that would also make sense. But the point is Speed is not dead. It's not dying, it's just hanging out, and for some reason there's not an EU release. Why this is, I don't know. Because as far as I am aware, every Speed Duel card is made in Belgium. That's my understanding of this. I don't think there's a different producer for any of it. It's just all made in Belgium on this really premium card stock. It's amazing. So I don't know why the EU wouldn't get access to it, and then North America and Brazil, I'm going to assume the rest of Latin America's in there too, would get it, and then they don't. I don't understand this. Something's going on with EU Konami. That's all I can say. Something's up. Because again, this isn't isolated solely to Speed. It also involves a YCS. Just letting you know. That's about all I have. Alright, now this part is for not you, MK, because you're not really associated with this. This is for all the people babbling about how Speed is preventing Rush from getting here. It's not. Okay? I don't know where you all got this idea, other than they both came out at roughly the same time, and they superficially resemble each other. They're not the same game. They're not stopping each other from getting here. That is silly. That is a ridiculous concept. Konami, as far as we know, is testing with Duel Links. And you want to know what happened with Rush Duels and Duel Links? It flopped. It didn't do very well, because you're running with the early stuff. And the early stuff is boring, okay? It's boring. You have to plow through it to get to the more fun stuff that happens later. Which isn't what you get, so I'm going to mirror myself in my first video here. You ain't going to play it. Alright? Some of you will. You'll try it like twice, and then you'll probably stop. And then a couple of you that tried it twice will keep playing it. And you're the ones that deserve to get something good. The rest of you, I don't care. I'm sick of listening to you. I don't care at this point. You can keep babbling on about it. Speed is not dead. It's still around. It's still going. I don't see why it would stop considering how successful the last stuff is. Something else is going on in the EU. Who knows what that is? It's probably the same thing as saying that they don't have a fucking YCS. Ever think of that? Anyway, I'm going to go finish this drink and then I'm going to go play some Total War. Goodbye, everybody.